Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video I'm going to walk through the effect that the financials have had on ES and YM. And I think right into the close today it was really interesting watching Citi. So we had some big news in Citi. I won't get into that, but we had some big news in Citi right into the close, and you could see here on the 5-minute chart where this thing just rolled over and started accelerating to the downside the last 30 minutes of the day. Now, normally, if a trader is not thinking about being a futures index trader and really what they are, which is a stock trader, they're not going to be able to pick these kinds of things out. The reason we can do that, and this kind of extends from the recap video we had yesterday, which is you have to look at these kind of exploded views, if you will, this multi-chart of the index you're trading. Doesn't matter if it's an index or an ETF, you look at the heavier weighted names within that index. So this could have been the SPY or ES, it's the same thing. You look at the names that are heavily weighted, and when you look at ES and even YM, financials do play a part, but not as great on the NQ. So NQ really didn't have to respond to the Citi sell-off, right? But when tech was getting hammered, and still is struggling a bit, but when tech was getting hammered, ES had to respond because we know Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, top 4 names. So we knew at that point YM really wouldn't have to respond all that much except for its Apple exposure, and IBM. You can throw that in there as well. So understanding when the market started to sell off, I didn't see it as much as emphasized in NQ. So immediately I thought about the hottest market out there right now, and that was financials. Citigroup is a number 5 weighted stock in this ETF. And I watched as the XLF, around the same time, 15:30, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, started selling off. And I thought, well, what's leading the charge? The exploded view here, the multi-chart here told me it's Citi. And as soon as Citi finds a range, as soon as we can get some Darvas containment, which is what I call this, that we would see the overall sell-off subside. So this is how you kind of find the cause, if you will. You got to think about the sector weightings. And this is very much, yes, some stock speak, but remember what you are in fact trading when you're trading ES, NQ, and YM. So keeping these in mind. Now, are financials the only one? No, they happen to be the hottest right now. Another one that I was trading pretty actively was XLK. When the market started to melt down, I actually grabbed some XLK, and that actually led me right down the road to the iPay ETF. I bought MasterCard, Visa, Square, PayPal, right? So when you start to think about these markets and how interconnected they are, it's something I call one mind, many markets. How are you able to look at a market and understand all the connective threads and all the connected opportunities that they present? It's one of my favorite things to do. And what I've shown you here is one that went into effect today, and how we understand when one stock's impact on the index will subside and possibly give us an opportunity to get long. And the great thing about these futures, ES, NQ, YM, these are 24-hour animals now. These are 24-hour beasts, which is fantastic because you can look at the way in which they'll move through the Asian session. Very important. And if you like the way they move, you can also adjust your price movement range expectations because the price movement range in Asia is less, but you can trade these into the evening and take advantage of the way that Auckland, Sydney, Hong Kong, Tokyo are responding to these markets. And then you get to 2 a.m. and you pass the baton to Frankfurt, Paris, then London, and then on over to the US to start that brand new US trading session. I'll see you in the next update.